Rosina, shall we start now, or do we have to wait for someone else?
Actually, we have more registration, but the point is that students already having lecture till 5:15.
Okay,
So let's
okay,
wait for few minutes more
okay, fine,
because
fine.
majority of the second sem students they are in lecture.
Okay, fine.
So very good evening. Very good evening to all the dear students. And today we have with us Ms. Vanshika Chabra, who is a business strategist with eJunkie, and we also have a Devansh and Mr. Aditya Rai. Both are the social entrepreneur and the digital marketer, and they have founded the eJunkie in the year of 2020. A very warm welcome, all of you, the today's expert and all the students. On behalf of VGC and Electrical Engineering Department, I welcome all the students and experts for the today's expert talk on e-waste management. Thank you all for joining. Yes,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Aditya. Yes, over to you.
Yep. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for the introduction. And on the behalf of eJunkie team, I, Aditya Rai, the co-founder of eJunkie, welcomes you all the
Yeah, I
students.
request you to, give a brief introduction about what actually the eJunkie and how you
Hmm,
have been associated with that and what kind of activities you are going on, in this particular social motives.
hmm. Definitely. So yeah, so we started eJunkie, an initiative under the name of Sorted Venture LLP. Actually, eJunkie is a brand part of e-waste, where we carry out all the activities related to e-waste management. And Sorted Venture LLP is our the registered company, and we are actually working in two domains, primarily in the digital marketing and secondary in the e-waste. And for e-waste, we have the brand name of eJunkie. So in 2016, we have taken up this initiative of starting the e-waste management or e-waste thing in our college days, in our graduation days. And since then, we worked for the couple of years, but due to the our masters and other education commitments, we have to halt the operations and go to the went to the actually the French top tier business school for masters, for doing the masters in innovation strategy and entrepreneurship. And from there we gained the expertise and the skills related to the digital marketing and to the entrepreneurship and strategy. And back in 2020 we started this again, with a whole new company with a whole new employees, and started this e-waste thing. And the prime focus of starting this e-waste thing was to, because in 2016 we got to know about this thing, like we have always seen what is plastic waste, what is solid waste, but this was quite interesting for us, quite new for us at that time. Like, what is e-waste, how e-waste is managed actually, because we are not at that time, we were not seeing anything like e-waste management in our society. People were just throwing away all the waste to these scrap dealers or someone else, but we were never having anything seen or heard about the recycling of e-waste. So this was quite fascinating at that time for us, and now as well, because this is a booming industry right now. And down the line, from 10 years to 12 years, we could see the rapid growth in this industry, because the technological advancement, the rapid use of technology we are using it, this is going to be a much bigger industry than it is right now. So this was all our initiative, and mainly we were focused towards the reducing of e-waste and to curbing the menace of e-waste and imparting our knowledge to the students related to the proper disposal of e-waste, because proper disposal of e-waste is quite necessary, because it is the most toxic and most hazardous waste stream among all the waste stream. So this is I'm going to share my screen with you guys. So can you see my screen?
Yes, yes.
So yeah, so we started this initiative of Sabko Batao e-waste Ghatao along with the Hula Tech recycling. So why I would like to tell you this story, why we get into the touch with the some other recycler or some other recycling facility like Hula Tech recycling, because this e-waste industry is quite mismanaged and very well like unorganized sector, because all the other waste industry like plastic waste management or the organic waste management, that is quite in terms of organization, that is quite organized, because government has a say in that thing. Government is quite active in plastic waste management, because we can see the installation of the bins and installation of the machines where we can throw and put our plastic waste and get some sort of value out of it, some sort of coins or coupons out of it, okay, in that vending machines kind of thing. And same goes for these organic waste as well. We can you can say give all your organic waste to the MCD or to the other municipal departments, whatever you have got in your city, and they get it recycled for you, or some way they treat it, okay, because government has a say in that thing. Government is quite active in proactively participating in the waste management thing, but government is not looking towards the e-waste, though since 2016 government has taken some good initiative in this thing. They have amended the bill in 2018 related to the e-waste, and included new norms and regulation to make it more strict, more stringent for the people, for the companies to follow it, who are not following it before that period. But then also this industry has a lot of problem. This industry is wholly unorganized just because of the influence of the informal sector. This industry, the e-waste industry, is particularly the most influenced by the informal sector. Informal sector are those people who do the things which is basically in the very unorganized way, and not in a sustainable manner, basically in a more harmful manner. So we tried to get into this industry, and we got a backlash from the these aggregators, the scrap aggregators, and the other people as well. And it was quite hard for us to get into this industry because people were not supporting us. Sometimes people called us as a kabadi wala as well, like we are doing something as a rag picker kind of things. But it took a lot of time to make them understand that this is not this is not the way we are doing the rack picking thing. We are actually making people aware about the e-waste thing. It is not about just we are picking up the e-waste from the households or from the streets. We are making people aware. So people have this sort of mentality of kawadiola kind of thing. They have never seen the recycling. They never heard about recycling or never heard about the circular economy kind of thing. So we thought like we have to go through the youth, because old people like above 45-50 years of age, they are quite adamant in their things. They are quite stubborn in their things, and they generally, we have seen this thing, we have experienced this thing, that they doesn't want to listen us, that doesn't want to understand what actually we are saying. They just have this mentality of saying to us like, you are doing a kabadi wala kind of thing, you are doing nothing. So we decided to go to the youth, go to the young people, go to the college students, and make them aware about this thing, because you are the only people who can take this knowledge from us and understand. Like, you have the good understanding about the environment, you think about the environment. Our new youth, our young generation have this kind of uh, you know instinct about the environmental things to protect the environment, because we are seeing a lot of protests relating to the environment, to the deforestation and kind of things. We are seeing a lot of protest against these things. So you guys can make a change in the society, and we want to make you aware about this thing, to go to your parents, to go to your family members and make them aware about this thing, because you are the only one who can influence them in a good way. So that is why, along with the hula deck recycling, we have taken this initiative of Sabko Batao E-Waste Batao. You have to tell everyone and tell them about reducing the e-waste and recycling the e-waste. First of all, you have to reduce it. Then when you can't reduce it, then you have to get it recycled at the end of the life of e-waste. So that was the basic introduction about eJunkie and about us and our initiative. So now I would tell you about the scenario that is currently going on in the country and in the world as well. So currently we are living in a digital dark age. So digital dark age means we are heavily dependent upon the technology, upon the all the new products, new technological products which come into the market for increasing our productivity. Basically all the smartphones and other things, it increases our productivity. That contains a boom, but some sort of curse is there also. It goes hand to hand actually. If you are not using it properly, if you are not discarding it properly, at the end of its life, it is a curse for the environment, for you, for the human life, everyone, for everyone. And you can see in 2019, this is a data like 282 millions of cell phones were sold in India. So you can imagine how heavily we are dependent on the cell phones. Like around 60 to 70 crores of people in India are using cell phone. Like I can imagine that thing, like how much cell phones are going into production every year. And this is quite interesting. Like each individual would like to change, if they can, would like to change their mobile phones in 2 years of span. Like we easily get fascinated from the new technology, from the newest technology. If there is a new iPhone coming up in the market in September or maybe October, everyone gets crazy about it. Everyone gets crazy about those new sets. Everyone wants to get their hands on new sets and feel it now, like how it feels to use this new technology. And they forgot about the uh, forgot about the outdated technology like iPhone 11. So this is the main problem. The main problem relies here. The main problem is there. You have to think about the outdated technology as well. You are superseding the newest technology. You are going to the newest technology. But what about the oldest technology? Who is getting it recycled? Who is getting it recycled in a sustainable manner? It is you only. You have to do it. You can see like around 300 millions of computers and 1 billion cell phones go into production every year. This is for you. This is for human civilization to make their productivity increase. This is for them. But to increase the productivity, to increase the knowledge, to increase the technological advancement, it takes a lot of things from the environment and from us as well. You can see around 245 kgs of fossil fuels, 20 kgs of chemical, and this is quite astonishingly like 1.5 tons of water to manufacture one computer and monitor. This is quite shocking thing. You can see like how much it takes from our environment, how much it takes from our natural resources to manufacture a one computer and a monitor. And after the end of the life, we are just discarding it in such a improper manner that it harms our environment as well. So basically, from the production to the end of life, we are harming our environment. So what we can do in this thing, I will tell you what we can do in next slides. So what actually happens when new technology becomes an old technology? So what we generally do, we generally stack up all the old technologies, all the our unwanted scraps, unwanted technology scraps, electronic scraps in our storeroom. Or if we are in college, or if we talk about the college and government institution, they just stack it up in the their store department or at their some other commercial departments. We generally never give a thought about getting it recycled, getting it in a economy again, getting it in a circular economy. Our mentality, our thought process goes into the linear economy model. where we just want to consume the product. We just want to consume it. We never give a thought about to just get it recycled and get it into the circular economy thing again. Because when you get one device recycled, like cell phone or something else, whole lot of component get into the economy again, like your copper, your aluminum, your gold, again as a raw material for a new product. Okay, if you don't get it recycled, the manufacturers of the cell phones, air conditioner, they have to mine in the virgin raw material for manufacturing it, and that is quite harmful for the environment. So it is harming in both the ways. Like, you are dumping it in the landfills or in the marine body life, in the water bodies, you're harming them as well. And then manufacturers are mining the raw materials to manufacture the new one, that is harming another another way as well. So what actually comes into the e-waste? So in e-waste, all the electronic equipments, all the electronic things which you use, which has the electricity, that comes into the e-waste thing. It could be very tiny things that has chip, and it could be a larger equipments like your DC generators or anything else, the UPS, the highest kV watt UPS, anything. It comes into the e-waste, whether it has plastic body or the metal body. If it is passing the electricity, it is e-waste. So we have segregated the e-waste or classified the e-waste into four categories. Basically, first one is old one, the old technology, and the broken one, that is broken due to the wear and tear. And then there is a obsolete and outdated technology. So I would like to ask you all guys, can you tell me the basic difference between the outdated and obsolete technology? Just unmute yourself and let me know about your thoughts on this thing.
Yes, student can unmute themselves and they can answer. What is the difference between obsolete and outdated? Anyone?
Just actively participate, guys.
Om, are you there? Om?
Yes, ma'am, I
Yeah.
am there.
Can you share your thoughts?
Ma'am, I think obsolete and outdated are very similar words. I don't have idea what is the difference between them.
I think outdated, it is in the terms of like if the technology is already outdated. Is it you mean to say like that?
Yes,
Ma'am,
yes, ma'am.
Obsolete, which means that it is no longer in use. So some technology we are not going to use now, and outdated is we may use, but it is look like old fashioned, and that is why we are not able to use it, or we may not be able to use, tempted to use it. So that is the outdated.
Thank you, Nirav sir.
So I want answers from students. Is there anyone?
Yes, Anjali, are you there, Anjali?
Are you guys doing something else apart from seeing this session? Everyone is dead, kind of thing.
Yes, Bansi, are you there? Okay, anyways.
Okay, fine. It's not a problem. So the sir has said correctly. Sir has said correctly. The obsolete technologies are those technologies which are currently not being in use, or basically if someone is using it, they can't get get the spare part of that technology, because the production line of that technology is being halted from a long time, that is not in being used. And the outdated technologies, for example, if I give you an example, it could be your iPhone 11, because it is superseded by the newest technology in the market, which is iPhone 12. Though iPhone 11's manufacturing is in line, it is manufactured every day, but it is superseded by the newest technology, which is iPhone 12. So this is the basic difference between the obsolete and outdated technology. But students, this is an interactive thing, because I am not here to just tell you about the e-waste. You have to give your thoughts as well. So this is wait, yeah, this is the another thing you have to tell me about, like how much tons of e-waste, electronic waste India generates. Just take a wild guess. There is nothing, there is no one going to punish you if you give your wrong answer. Okay, so just take a wild guess and let me know about this thing. There is 3 options for you: 10 million, 3.5 million, and 1.36 million. Just take a wild guess and let me know about your thoughts.
1.36.
Okay, great job. Anyone else? Please go ahead.
Yes, I too go with 1.36 million.
Hmm.
Yes, Manav, what is your thoughts? Are you there?
If you guys will not answer, then your teacher will
Yes, ma'am.
pick you up.
1.36.
Okay, you go with 1.36. Vikram, are you there, Vikram? I think this is one of the drawback of, you know what, we are
Yeah, I can.
using the online
Hello.
sessions. Yes, yes.
I am here, ma'am.
You are there, but why you are not participating? You know, we want the answer from the students. What's your thoughts? Let's go with the maximum.
I will go for 10%.
Yes, let's go with the maximum. Yes, Neeraj.
You don't have to hesitate on this thing. This is quite simple. You just have to just say a number. You don't have to hesitate on this thing. Okay, fine. So 1.36 million was there back in 2016 or 15 time, but currently India generates around 10 billions of e-waste every year, and we are placed at a third position in the world in terms of generating the e-waste, and we are just behind the USA and China, but we are quite behind all of the countries who are recycling the e-waste, because we are just recycling 5% of 10 million of e-waste generated every year, and rest 95% of e-waste is untreated or treated in a very hazardous manner or improper manner. So you can see how saddest part is this, like we are just recycling 5% of e-waste. This is just because we have the lack of awareness, lack of knowledge about the e-waste and how it could be harmful to the environment, how dangerous it is for environment if it is not recycled properly or not treated in a sustainable manner. So basically what we do if we do not get it recycled, what generally our parents or the people who have the authority of the home, what generally they do with their e-waste, they generally sold it off to the kabadi walas, to the scrap dealers, to the scrap aggregators. Why they do this thing? Basically for one thing, money, for the value what they get for from selling the e-waste to them. But I would like to tell you, and this session is all about this sustainable lifestyle, sustainable living, and this is not about the value, because you can create the value out of some other product, some other things in your life, but it is not necessary you generate the value from the scrap as well. Sometimes you have to look towards the environment, towards the environmental impact, towards the environment where your future generation is going to live. So sometimes you have to think about those things. And why you should not sell these electronic equipments to these kabadi walas or to scrap aggregators, because they are treating this e-waste in a most hazardous manner. They include children below the age of 18 years old, and they make them to do the practice of acid bathing and chemical leaching for extracting the precious metal from the e-waste. So basically they are doing the cherry picking thing. That means to just extract all the precious metal that can give them the value from this e-waste. And they doesn't have this sort of mentality to get it recycled. They just want to make money out of it. Like our parents are making money out of it, the rack pickers are doing the same thing. We are just playing on the same board. We are not doing something else. So this is my request to the youth, my request to the youth to just get yourself into this thing, do the initiative in this thing, and stop your parents, the persons who have the authority at your home, from selling all the e-waste to the scrap dealers. You have to take the initiative to get your e-waste recycled from a proper recycler. So basically, if you sell it off all the e-waste to the kabadi walas or to the other person, what sort of impact it is going to have on our environment? So this is the impact. The rest of the material finds their way to the landfills and water bodies. So generally they dump all the rest of the materials, like from where they can't have the value, they just dump it in the landfills or into the marine bodies, to the into the water bodies. And when they dump it in the landfills, the toxic material, the harmful substance of the e-waste gets deep into the groundwater. And when it seeps down to the groundwater level, it contaminates the water level, and ultimately we are drinking it as a tap water. And when they throw it into the water bodies, it is harming our marine life as well. We have to think about this thing, like, can we stop harming our marine life as well? Because if we are living on this earth, they are too. So we have to stop harming them. Because we have seen, like I have seen this news, you must have seen also in some last decades, we have seen how much quantity of plastic waste and other waste are being thrown to the water bodies, and we can see all those things getting washed off during the cyclone or some other climatic changes to the beaches. But people are throwing the e-waste as well. So basically we are throwing away all our waste streams to the water bodies. I will tell you, that is not your dumping ground. You have to get it recycled, whether it your plastic waste, whether it your solid waste, or whether it is your e-waste. You have to get it recycled. Your water bodies, the soil, that is not your dumping ground. That is for other things, that is natural resources. You can't dump all your waste to the water bodies or to the landfills. And I would like to tell you one more thing. If we do not recycle the e-waste, it contributes to the 4.25% of greenhouse gas emission also. And the toxic fumes that get into the environment due to the burning of e-waste, the harmful substance, you could get the breathing issues as well. And around 2.5 million of people die because every year annually in India, just because of breathing issues and because of the lung cancer as well. So you have to think about this thing, like you need to go into a sustainable lifestyle thing, or just make money out of your e-waste or scrap. That has no value. Actually, that has no value in real sense, because life is more important than money, I think so. And in European countries, there is a rule where you have to take your e-waste to the recycler and pay them the amount to get your e-waste recycled. But in India, it is quite different. It is quite opposite scenario. You are asking to the recycler for the money, and basically we are giving the money as well. We give the monetary benefits as well. So basically you are on the beneficial part. You are getting the money out of your e-waste as well, and you are getting it recycled as well. So basically you have win-win situation. So why not get it recycled rather than selling it to the scrap dealers or someone else? So basically, what sort of harmful substance these e-waste have? So these e-waste, all the electronic e-waste generally have phosphor, lead, cadmium, mercury, dioxin, furans, and other harmful substance, numerous amount of harmful substance. And I told you earlier, just right now, how harmful this could be. This could damage your immune system, your reproductive system as well, and sometimes it is quite life threatening as well. It could give a cancer. You could be suffering from cancer as well while breathing the toxic air. Okay, so how you can stop this thing? So basically we are there for you to stop this thing and reduce the menace of e-waste in India. So we are eJunkie, a responsible, ethical e-waste management company based out of New Delhi. So this is not like we are based out of New Delhi, so you can't contact us. You can contact us for getting your e-waste recycled, because we have pan-India service in association with Buladek Recycling, who are producer responsibility organization. Producer responsibility organization means they have the responsibility to get all the e-waste generated from the corporate houses, corporate sector, or manufacturing units, or heavy manufacturing units, to get recycled every year. It is because they have the norms and they have to abide by the norms and regulation of the Central Pollution Control Board, and we are the licensed entity under the Central Pollution Control Board. So this is our process. How it is quite simple, quite easy to understand. First of all, you have to raise the pickup of e-waste from us. We will give you the number or email ID as well, or you can just do it from other recycler as well. I'm not saying you have to strictly follow us, but yeah, this is our process looks like. We just confirm the pickup request from you, and then we come to your place and we give a door-to-door pickup facility as well. You don't have to come to our recycling facility or anywhere else. You don't have to spend a penny on getting your e-waste recycled. You just have to call us and our team will reach out to you and come at your place and collect the e-waste. And after collecting the e-waste, we properly segregate those e-waste into different classified things like medical e-waste, batteries, or consumer electronics and other things. And then we safely transport it to the pan India, our recyclers, who recycled it in a more sustainable manner under the by abiding the norms of Central Pollution Control Board for the recycling. So this is our services looks like. We first of all give the door-to-door pickup service to you guys, and then we give this service of data destruction, which is quite essential nowadays because people are quite insecure about their data. They think their data could be theft or breach if they give us their laptop or mobile phones or other equipment, but this is not like that. We immediately destruct the data in front of them on site, and then even we destruct it off site as well, and we will give the proof of the same to the clients. And the third service is our about the awareness drives. In awareness drives, we do the awareness sessions as well, as I am doing right now with you guys, to make you aware about the e-waste thing and about the hazardous implications of the e-waste and proper recycling. In the awareness drives, we go to the residential complexes, apartments, government institutions, schools, colleges, and other institutions as well, and do a one-day awareness sessions with them and collect the e-waste whosoever wants to give it for the recycling, and we provide the certificates and some other gifts to them as well for the same. And the last thing is extended producer responsibility. So extended producer responsibility is the service which is basically provided to the all the uh, corporate houses, manufacturing units, because they have this restriction from the government that they have to get their e-waste recycled annually, the amount in comparison to the amount of electronic they manufacture. Like if For example, LG is manufacturing 1 ton of refrigerator every year. So they have this burden kind of things, or they have to get their 1 ton of e-waste recycled that year in that financial year as well. So for that thing, they get in contract with us, us or some other recycler as well, and get it recycled, because they that is not feasible for them to establish a new recycling facility to just comply with the norms and regulation of the CPCB. So we are here to support them in this thing to get their e-waste recycled in a financial year. So this is basically not for the students or for the individual. This is mainly for the corporate houses and for the schools as well. Like you are a education institution, so I would like to tell you one more thing. For education institutions, there is a NAC accreditation. Okay, so if your school or college get its e-waste recycled with us in a financial year, they can claim the NAC accreditation points. It is around 10 points for a year in the environmental thing. Okay, so it will ultimately increase your accreditation points. So this is quite beneficial for the schools and colleges as well. And apart from that, definitely we will give the monetary benefits to the school and colleges. So this is going to be another interactive thing for you guys. So you must have heard about the carbon footprints from since a very long time. So this is the time you can calculate your e-footprint, like how much amount of e-footprint you are generating in your day-to-day life. Okay, so I would like the proactive participation from the students. Please participate. So this is the first thing. So take out your copy and pen, or maybe your mobile phone calculator, and just calculate the points. So have you ever broken your phone screen ever in your life? Then 20 points for you. And if there is a no, then 10 points. Do you raid your refrigerator for a midnight snack? So all the people who gets hungry the midnight time, give yourself 20 points. And if there is a no, then 10 points for you guys. Do you need the AC on all night in this summer? If it is yes, then 10 points for you. And if it is a no, then simply 10 points for no. Yep. So this is quite interesting. So have you ever dropped your phone in the toilet? If you have done so, then give it yourself 20 points. And no, then 10 points for you. Yeah, I have done this thing right now, just yesterday in night. So do you bang the remote controls when they are not working? If it is yes, then 20 points. And if it is no, then 10 points. And it is quite usual in our Indian homes. I know we generally bang the back of the remote control when it is not working, whether it is of AC or of television. Do you need the geyser on even during summers? If it is yes, then 20 points. If it is no, then 10 points. So this is for all the people, all the students who can't get away from their smartphones and they can't live without their smartphones. How many times do you charge your phone in a day? Once in a while, then 10 points, twice, then 15 points, thrice, then 20 points. And if it is always on a charge, like on a battery pack, power bank, then give it yourself 50 points. And I would like to tell you, just change your phone and give us the old one for the recycling thing. So this is the final thing. Just calculate your points and let me know, unmute yourself and let me know how much e-footprint you generate on a daily basis.
I got 80 points.
85 points.
Other students, please share.
85.
85.
85.
85. Okay. What about others?
85.
85.
If everyone is getting 85.
100.
Yeah,
100.
that is good.
What about others?
No one above 100?
19.
Huh? Oh, how much?
Is it 90? Is it 90 you are saying? Het Patel.
Yeah, it would be 90 only. It can't be 19.
I request participants, the Google form link is provided in the chat box. Please do write the feedback. And of course, you'll be getting the certificate on the same email ID. So don't do mistake to write an email ID.
Yes, we generally got a lot of mistakes in the email IDs. So please be sure your email ID should be correct. So basically, no one gets above the 100 points. That is quite strange, but nice for you guys. So whosoever got 70 points, you are doing a great job. And whosoever got 75 to 100 points, you are in a good place, but you have to do work. Okay. And above the 105 and 175 points, lot of works to be done for you guys. And on the basis of your e-footprint, you have to think about the recycling thing, and you have to think about how you can protect your environment and do a bit about the environment, how you can live in a more sustainable lifestyle. So this is all about the e-waste. This is all about the hazardous implications of the improper disposal of the e-waste. And there was one guy asked me a question. Ankit, please explain a bit about the harmful radiation causing to employees, people working at recycling plant. So Ankit, I would tell you one thing. We basically do processing of the e-waste in a most environmentally friendly and more sustainable manner. There is a machine that is quite on an automation basis to do the recycling of the things, and it requires a less manpower. And all the people who are there, they are fully equipped with the protective gears and other things. So there is a minimum chances of getting the radiation and kind of thing. So I assure you on this point and assure you all, like there is nothing like radiations on the employees or people working over there. We take utmost care of this thing, because if we are not taking it, the Central Pollution Control Board will shut it down. Okay. So yeah, this is all about the e-waste session. Sabko batao, e-waste ghatao, and I want the active participation from the students to go to your home and tell your parents and tell them about the e-waste and how harmful this could be if you are not discarding it properly with the recycler, with the authorized recycler. If you are ever discarding the e-waste with someone who is claiming him to be a recycler, first of all, get his social proofing kind of things. You can just check it on the Google, Instagram, or Facebook, or on his website or his or her website as well, whether he is a authorized recycler or not. Okay, that is the main thing, because you may get encountered with
Mr.
someone.
Aditya,
Yeah.
can I ask you one question?
Yeah,
See,
yeah,
here, as far as the domestic usage is concerned, it's not like in that much bigger amount, right? So how जैसे हमारे घर पे जो पस्ती होती है, तो न्यूज़पेपर का जो रहता है, हम एवरी मंथ या 2 महीने के बाद उसको डिस्कार्ड करते हैं, राइट? जो कबाड़ी वाला आता है. लेकिन इन टर्म्स ऑफ ई वेस्ट इतना सारा घर के अंदर नहीं होता है. इवन नॉर्मल हमारे जो फैमिली मेंबर्स रहते हैं, हार्डली 3 to 4 फैमिली मेंबर्स आर देयर इन वन फैमिली. So how we can help you in this?
Basically, you are talking as an individual.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
आप एक इंडिविजुअल की तरह बता रहे हो कि आपके घर में ई वेस्ट इतना जनरेट नहीं होता है, बट अगर हम एज अ कंट्री इस चीज को ले, एज अ जितने भी स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पे हैं, देन उनकी फैमिली मेंबर्स, देन उनके अदर फैमिली मेंबर्स जो एक्सटेंडेड फैमिलीज में आते हैं, इनको ले, सबके यहाँ कलेक्टिवली अगर हम सोचे तो कितना ई वेस्ट जनरेट होता है। आई वुड टेल यू लाइक फ्रॉम, क्योंकि जितने भी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हो रही है अल्टीमेटली उसका कंज्यूमर कौन है? कंज्यूमर हम है, हम ही कंज्यूम कर रहे हैं, हमारे लिए ही प्रोडक्शन हो रहा है, मोबाइल फोन से लेके सारे कंज्यूम तो हम ही कर रहे हैं, तो उसको डिस्कार्ड भी कौन कर रहा है? डिस्कार्ड भी हम ही कर रहे हैं एट द एंड ऑफ द डे। तो जब डिस्कार्ड हम कर रहे हैं तो सारी ई वेस्ट जितना भी जाता है लैंडफिल्स में वो हमारे ही तरफ से जाता है। आप एज अ इंडिविजुअल हो सकता है कि आप 2 साल में अपना एसी या कोई चीज चेंज कर रहे हो, या 4 साल, 5 साल, 6 साल में, बट इसके अलावा भी बहुत लोग होते हैं, वो लोग भी सब लोग डिस्कार्ड करते हैं। तो कलेक्टिवली इंडिया में पर डे काफी ज्यादा ई वेस्ट हाउस होल्ड जनरेट करता है, बहुत ज्यादा, जितना एक मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट जनरेट नहीं करती है या कॉर्पोरेट हाउसेस जनरेट नहीं करते हैं, उससे ज्यादा इंडिविजुअल्स हाउस होल्ड जनरेट करता है। अराउंड इन वर्ल्ड अराउंड 50 और 40 मिलियन ऑफ ई वेस्ट हाउस होल्ड जनरेट करता है, उससे ऊपर हाउस होल्ड जनरेट करता है अकेले। सो इंडिविजुअली भी अगर आपके पास चार्जर है, ईयरफोन है, कुछ भी है आपके, वो भी खराब होते हैं हर 1 साल में, 6 महीने में, 7 महीने में, वो सब ई वेस्ट में ही कंट्रीब्यूट होता है, वो सारी चीजें। सो यू हैव टू थिंक अबाउट दिस थिंग लाइक just collect it for 1 year or 2 year, but ultimately you have to take this step of getting it recycled someday. So ये individual एक collective सबको करना पड़ेगा।
And as a Ijuki, what is your role in this particular exercise?
Yes, my role is to get people aware about this thing, the thing I am doing it right now.
Okay.
And going to the residential apartments like households, and getting them aware about the e-waste, installing the bin over there, like you have seen the bins of the plastic waste and the wet waste and the other waste,
Okay.
जो कि recycle होता है, kind of thing. So we put a e-waste bin as well apart from that thing, so that people can discard their e-waste. I'm not telling you to discard your PC over there or your laptop over there, but you have these small things as well, like the earphone, chargers, जो सबसे ज्यादा खराब होते हैं हमारी लाइफ में और हम सबसे ज्यादा उनको चेंज करते हैं डे टू डे बेसिस। बैटरीज, दी पेंसिल बैटरीज, वो सबसे ज्यादा खराब होती है और हमारे यहाँ चेंज होती है, हमारे यहाँ पड़ी रहती है घर पे, हम उसको चेंज नहीं करते, मतलब किसी को रिसाइकल करने को नहीं देते, वो भी रिसाइकल होता है और सबसे ज्यादा डेंजरस तो उसी में होता है, सबसे ज्यादा टॉक्सिक्स तो सबसे ज्यादा बैटरीज में ही होती है। सो इन those e-waste bins people can discard their small things, small tiny things, rest, refrigerator, other things, they can just call us for the pickup and we can go to their place. So हमारा 2 ही रोल आता है, एक e-waste recycling and then awareness about the e-waste. 2 things are there from
Okay.
our side.
Anything from the students? Want to ask anything? From the students?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Meet Patel. Any questions? Do you have any questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
See, sometimes we have a lot of batteries in our home. So does it cost us to recycle it whenever we call this recycle?
So basically, I'll tell you one thing, battery is a negative item. Okay. Your batteries are negative item. The cartridges of the printer are negative items. Okay. So generally recyclers charge for them to get it recycled. But on the basis of your negotiation and other things, they might get it for free for you. Okay. Because that is a negative item. So आपको उसका पैसा वैसे देना तो पड़ता है, but ठीक है, वो negotiation के ऊपर है, आप दे रहे हो नहीं दे रहे हो, but वो recycle होती है वो सारी चीजें।
Okay, thank you.
Yes, Anjali, you want to say something?
No, ma'am.
Okay, okay.
So I would like to tell you one more thing in this thing, like what we have taken this initiative and what other things we are actually doing. So when we get some sort of laptops or tablets which can be refurbished or can be like make it working again. We generally we had a collaboration with an NGO in Delhi, and we get it all the laptops and other things refurbished which can be, and then we donate it to the students, to the MCD students, where जो भी below the poverty line बच्चे हैं जो afford नहीं कर सकते वो technology को, we just donate it back to them. This is kind of another social initiative we have taken along with this reducing the e-waste thing as well.
Hello, sir. I have a question. सर जैसे मोबाइल एसेसरीज की जो शॉप्स होती है वो दिन में बहुत सारे मोबाइल रिपेयर करती है, और उनके पास जैसे टूटी हुई डिस्प्ले है, और ऐसे जैसे डिस्प्ले और मदरबोर्ड के बहुत सारे पीसेस होते हैं, और वो भी डेली वो जो ई जंक होता है वो उनको बेचते हैं, जैसे 40 रुपए किलो भी जो रेट है उनका। तो अगर आप ये सब ई वेस्ट इकट्ठा करते हैं तो उसको रिसाइकल कैसे करते हैं आप? जैसे कि मोबाइल का होता है वो ऐसे अलग रखते हैं या फिर उसके लिए कुछ अलग प्रोसेस करते हैं आप?
जितनी भी चीजें हमारे पास आती हैं उसको प्रॉपरली पहले तो डिसमेंटल किया जाता है। डिसमेंटल करने के बाद वो मशीन में जाके खुद सेग्रीगेट होती है। मशीन उसी लिए है कि वो उसको सेग्रीगेट करे प्रॉपरली, क्योंकि जब एक ह्यूमन इन्वॉल्वमेंट आती है वो अगर उसको सेग्रीगेट करने चलेगा तो वो सारे टॉक्सिक से ज्यादा एक्सपोज होगा। बट जब वो मशीन में जाती है चीजें तो मशीन में इलेक्ट्रोस्टैटिक सेपरेटर होता है जो कि सारे आपके जितने भी मेटल्स होते हैं, जो भी एलिमेंट्स होते हैं, ग्लास हो, आपका कॉपर हो, एल्यूमिनियम हो, इसको वो सेपरेट करता है। मशीन इसीलिए काम आती है वो सारी। सो बेसिकली जो ये मोबाइल फोन्स वाले हैं या जो रिटेलर शॉप वाले हैं, अब जनरली कुछ तो नियम मानने लगे हैं, रूल्स मानने लगे हैं, बट अभी भी लार्ज चंक ऑफ पीपल आर देयर हु आर सेलिंग ऑफ ऑल दी dismantled like the metal body, the motherboard or the other chipboards to the scrap dealers or aggregators. इसीलिए this industry is heavily influenced by the informal sector, because starting में ही जहां से शुरुआत होनी है वही प्रॉब्लम है। वो लोग ने ही, जिनके पास ये जाता है मैन्युफैक्चर होने के लिए या रिपेयर होने के लिए, वही आगे अगर उनके पास कोई सामान पड़ा रह जाता है तो वो दे आते हैं किसी कबाड़ी वाले को। किस लिए? वही जो मैंने बताया था लास्ट टाइम, फॉर अ वैल्यू, फॉर अ मनी। वो उधर से मनी बनाने वाली चीज है, जबकि उनके किसी काम वो आने वाली नहीं है, बट वो उसको दे देते हैं स्क्रैप डीलर्स को rather than giving it to the recycler.
Anjali, can you mute your mic? I think your mic is on. Anjali? Okay, anyway.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Hello, Aditya sir.
Yeah. Please tell me.
सर आप जो अभी मशीन की बात की, कुछ बता सकते हैं कि वो उसका वर्क का आपने समझा दे, पर उसको वो मशीन आप लाते कहाँ से? वैसे उसका इंडिया में मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैसे होता है? गवर्नमेंट आपको कैसे हेल्प करती है? और आप अपना ई जंकी का एड्रेस भी शेयर कर सकते हैं सर प्लीज?
हाँ, ई जंकी का एड्रेस मैं आपको, अब हमारा व्हाट्सएप नंबर है इसके आगे, यहाँ पे इस पे आप अपना टेक्स्ट करना, हम लोग उस पे आपको सेंड कर देंगे, ठीक है, ई जंकी का एड्रेस। और जो मशीन के बारे में आप पूछ रहे हो, मशीन बेसिकली इंडिया में भी मैन्युफैक्चर हो रही है अब, under the guidance and under the norms and regulation of the government of India, the Ministry of Information and Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology के अंदर हो रही है, सीमेट के अंदर हैदराबाद में। But the capacity of the machine, the feeding capacity of the machine is quite low comparatively to the Chinese machines which are in the market, because the Chinese machine can recycle around 1000 kilos or 1 ton of e-waste per hour, but our Indian technology is quite below that standard, that that recycle around 200 kgs per day. So that is quite low basically, but that is cheaper as well. The Chinese machines are quite expensive, but the Indian machines are quite less expensive and cheaper option. But yeah, there is a problem related to the recycling capacity in the Indian machine. And as for you asked for the thing like how government is helping us, so yeah, government gives some sort of subsidies to the recycling units on the you can see on the electricity, on establishing the plant and machinery, but ultimately you have to bear all the cost. Government can give you around the 10%, 20% subsidy, but ultimately you have to manage all the 80% of things from yourself. But if government is going to give you subsidy, they are going to scrutinize you at every step and make it more worse for you at the end of the day. So generally people are not running behind the subsidy from taking the government. Yeah, but होता है, गवर्नमेंट थोड़ा सा परेशान कर देती है उस चीज में. अभी इस चीज को लेके और रूल्स आने चाहिए मेरे हिसाब से ई वेस्ट में.
Okay, then Mr. Aditya, can we close the meeting?
Yes,
If
ma'am,
there
sure.
is no more query, but still you can write any kind of a query if you have. They are very popular. Even you can go with the email ID as well as in the Insta also.
Yes, we have our Insta handle as well at the rate recycle underscore ejunkie. You can just follow us as well, or just see our Instagram handle. And our phone number is 9717594265. It is a
I
WhatsApp
request,
number.
yes, Mr. Aditya,
Yeah.
to send me some of the tips, how my students can participate in your awareness kind of a program with their, as an individual. How they
Okay,
can
definitely.
help, how they can help the environment and how they can help the society. Just a few
Definitely.
tips like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, do this, like. Okay.
Definitely. We will send you a
So I'll
draft, a
share
proposal
with
kind of
my
thing.
students also.
Yes, ma'am. No problem. And if someone has some sort of query or want to take a part in this recycling thing and recycling of e-waste, they can just hit us a mail on the info@ejunkie.com and we will revert back to you on the same. Okay. And so that's all from my side. And that it is a great session with you guys. And at the end of the session, it was quite good. Like people started participating in this thing and asking questions. That was really good.
Yeah, thank you so much, Aditya and ejunkie team, to provide us a platform to organize such kind of awareness event. And that is how, not as an individual, but I think all together we can save the environment and we can help to the society. Thank you all, dear students, for joining today. And do actively take participation in all the programs. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Yeah,
So
thanks
much.
a lot, Vanshika, for giving us an opportunity to organize such kind of a program at the, in the campus of VGC Chandkheda. And really, we look forward, to organize such kind of awareness session for our students. Thank you all.
Thank you so much. Okay. Bye, guys, and stay safe, stay healthy, and signing off.
Thank you all.
Thank you.